Oh my gosh, today's episode is about communication. This is something that I am seeing with a lot of my clients, a lot of the women I talk to. Let me tell you something. You may have found your person, but if you are not communicating, it's bye-bye time. Like in a really bad way, okay? So I want you to have a healthy, lasting, amazing, crazy love, right? And a love where you could be completely real and authentically, zenfully you. So you got to show up as yourself. You got to be fearless, and you have to be able to communicate what you're thinking. So many times we are thinking the absolute freaking worst, right? And so I really feel that God or the universe, whatever you want to say, right, wants your person, it's waiting. Your person's right there. And you're really, Ed Milet says this, one person away, you're one thing away. Your next date, your next chat could be your person, right? So I want you to show up as your best self, right? And so if you are just used to toxic, freaking bullshit relationships, it is hard to show up with your guard down, willing to tell them all the things that you're scared of or what you're thinking. You're you thinking they didn't text me. It's because they don't care about me. Oh yeah. And you start playing those games. Well, I'm not going to text them. And I guess it's one thing leads to another, and it's just this self-sabotage. Okay. And I need you to know this. I feel it's absolutely crucial to communicate, to say whatever you're thinking. And I want you to be aware of that. The things that you're telling yourself, right? Did they tell you they don't give a shit about you? Or are you saying this because they didn't text you first in the morning, for example? And this is something that I feel if you want them to text you in the morning, why don't you tell them you want them to text you in the morning? But that requires vulnerability. And we don't like that sometimes, right? You don't like that. I love vulnerability. I think it's, and you got to lean into vulnerability. You have to be able to say, hey, I love getting messages from you, in the morning. It's the best way to start the day. So cute. You're adorable for saying that. Hello. And your person will be like, oh my God, of course. If it's not your person, be like, that's weird. You sound needy. You sound weird. If they have anything negative to say about it, bye-bye. It really is that simple. I feel like people are oh my God, I can't tell them that. That's weird. Okay. To me, right, through my lens, what is weird is you building this whole story in your head, how they don't give a shit about you because they didn't text you first thing in the morning. Do you see what I mean? That's weird. That's weird. So and by the way, I've been guilty of that. I've totally been guilty of that, of playing the game. And we are seriously in the Matrix. And it's everyone's playing the game, and how many people are left alone, right? And we're not talking about those happy single people I don't need anybody. Think about it. How many people are just going around dating the wrong person, toxic shit, and it's all a hot mess? Think about it. Everyone's playing games. Everyone's in the freaking Matrix. So this is where I'm telling you, game changer. The game changer is communication. When you communicate everything you are really feeling, your fears, your deepest things, what you want from them, hey, I would love to, when are we hanging out again? Or when are we see? Or I love it when you make plans, or whatever it is that you want, say it. So many times we are just waiting for them, and they fail because they, obviously don't read your mind. They can't read your mind. And you just think the worst. And then the next time you see them, you're guarded. You're not being yourself anymore fully. You're kind of holding them at arm's length. And the relationship, that connection starts to disappear. And here we are again, square one. You're just I wonder what happened to that. We were we were totally connected. And next thing you know, we're not. It's yeah, because you weren't communicating, and I want you to be empowered by this. I want you, and try it out. Like, why not? Seriously, like everything you're doing, right? Everything you've done hasn't worked, right? That's fair. It's fair. Unless you're listening and in a relationship, right? In a healthy relationship, fine. But I'm telling you something. If you're listening to Crazy Love or Nothing, you want to find crazy love, you haven't found it, right? Or a lot of my clients who have found it, they keep hearing it to make sure to maintain a healthy relationship. And something that I have seen them struggle with is communication. So if you want to find it and you want to keep it, you have to communicate. You gotta be clear, like seriously clear. I need to do an episode of this with Will here, 100,000,000%, because he jokes about this all the time. Like, he's like, us guys, they just aren't like us amazing women. And men are amazing. Like, they have their amazing traits. But I do feel that us women, we're expecting all these things from them, and it's so not fair. Like, throw them a bone. Like, seriously. Like, tell them. And if they're like someone that really does care, they will show up for you. They will send you a morning message, or they'll do whatever it is that you need them or want them to do. I feel that, I always say this, and I'm going to say it again, but sometimes it's that scarcity mindset, oh my God, there's not that many men. There's so many people. Like, I really want you to lean into that and just say bye. If they have a problem with when you communicate what you want, you're not being needy. You're being confident. You're being secure in who you are and what you want. That's freaking sexy. That is attractive. That's amazing. A secure, confident man who knows what he wants a confident woman who speaks her mind. And so, hell yeah. If you say what you want, what you're thinking, and you're coming from a place of love, positive energy, not like, you never do this. You're like, hey, I would love it if, you come from that place. Don't come from that jaded ass shit where you're like all men are the same, and he didn't text me and he's probably off cheating on me, or like your mind goes off into some crazy nightmare, right? Rabbit hole based off of your past experiences that were like total shit show, right? And so this is when you start challenging yourself and say, well, wait a second, what if he's nothing like the last guys? Like, what if he hasn't given you reason to not trust him? Why are you thinking the absolute worst? Right? And so this is when you have to start to become like so crazy aware of that. Like, what are some things that you're doing that is really like already destroying a relationship before maybe it's even started? And because you're so scared of them being just like the other disappointing people in your life. You don't even give it a chance. You're just like, forget it. And not only that, you don't communicate what you want clearly. Like I just feel like after you communicate what you want openly and vulnerably from a place of love, and they say then, no, don't want to do that, don't care about you enough, blah, blah, then it's bye-bye time. And it's not about something was wrong with you or you weren't enough. They just weren't your person. That's it. So like the sooner you have that clarity, the better to leave the space to receive your person. Yes, I feel like today's episode is gold. I love it. I hope you receive it. I hope that you are not defensive. I hope you're not like, no, Jackie, I do communicate and, all guys do suck. Like, there's something going on in your head that you're telling yourself a story and I'm calling bullshit. So I want to challenge you. I want you to tell me, are you showing up openly, vulnerably? Are you communicating the best you can? And I'm talking about day one, first hour, chatting with people. How are you communicating everything you want, everything you're thinking? Or are you guarded, right? Or you're like, no, I don't want to. I don't want to, Jackie. Stop it. Like, you got to get uncomfortable. I know. I'm tough, but I'm telling you something. I know that your person exists. I am on a mission to help you find them. So listen to me. I'm sending you so much love. And remember, it has to be crazy love or nothing. Until next time. Bye.